The whole beginning of the Shoreline Soup Kitchen is a little bit of an indictment about what happens in local town government in these smaller communities down here in southeastern Connecticut. There is a man by the name of Judson Stoddard who was homeless and living in Old Saybrook. Somebody told him to go to New Haven because they have shelters in New Haven. And in New Haven, he went to a shelter one night because it was cold, and he was turned away because he was drunk. And so he froze to death in the streets of New Haven that night.
The folks who come to our pantries, a large proportion of them are working. They're working, but they're underemployed. They may be working full-time jobs, or if it's a two-parent situation, they may be working both full-time jobs, but really aren't able to make enough money to live around here.
We get fresh baked bread from a local bakery. We will have soup and cereal. In this location, it's our meals in a can, pasta and sauce station, tuna and juice, and everybody gets canned vegetables. We did get some green beans. These came from the food bank. And yellow squash, some tomatoes, potatoes. We have some apples.
The Shoreline Soup Kitchen started out of a basement of the church in Essex at the Baptist Church. Our meal sites really fulfill our mission to provide food and fellowship in a very concrete way. We have our volunteers sit with the guests and enjoy the meal with them and make them aware that it's not an us versus them. You know, we're all in this together, and we really come together in community and fellowship at our meal sites. And we have this need for food that we can apportion up, freeze in microwavable containers, and then give out at our pantries to people who live in hotels. We give out on average about 800 meals a week from our Heat and Eat program, and the food that they cook is, you know, homemade. It's delicious, and it's in great compostable containers, you know, green containers, so it really it helps those in need, and it's sort of good for what we're trying to do with the environment. You know, the only way that Shoreline Soup Kitchens and pantries could do what we do, literally, is because of the food bank system. You and I cannot go to Stop and Shop or to a large retail store and take $1 and buy enough food to deal with the volume of people in need who are coming to our pantries on a weekly basis. But we can take that same $1 and go to the food bank, and we can get food for 5 to 12 cents a pound. The reality of that, being able to take $1 and stretch it so far to buy that many pounds of food, is really what makes every emergency food pantry work. We have, at last count, over 800 people who are regularly volunteering at the Shoreline Soup Kitchens and pantries. I don't mean one time a year volunteering either. I mean weekly.
Oh, and I started last year, but Jean is my 8th year. I was one of the beginners, and it's grown so much.
I want to make them feel welcome. I want them to feel like they're doing an important job. I like them to come back, which is always good, and we have a large number of volunteers who come every week, and I just love them because they are what makes it go.
We would be unable to provide the amount of meals and care that we do to those in need on the Shoreline if we did not have the volunteers we have.
The clients are so appreciative when they come through here, and they're always making comments how friendly we are, how helpful we are. We don't know what they've been through. It touched a heart.